Pause here for a moment because this isn't just about a powerful sorcerer. It's about someone who changed the Jujutsu world in ways no one saw coming. I used to think legends were born by chance, but Gojo proved that a legacy is something you build with purpose. Meet Satoru Gojo, the man who shattered every limit placed before him, but his legacy, it's hidden within the lives of those he touched. You'll probably want to rewatch this. It's one journey you won't believe. Gojo's life began with a destiny unlike any other. Born with both the six eyes and the limitless technique, he was an anomaly in the Jujutsu world, a child destined to tip the scales of power. But with power came threats, and Gojo quickly learned that his strength made him both admired and feared. From a young age, he was hunted by bounty hunters and curse users who saw him as a threat to the status quo. Yet, even as a child, Gojo turned the tables on his enemies. Imagine living with 100 million yen bounty on your head and still feeling invincible. That was Gojo's life, one of constant tests and triumphs, where survival meant leaving a trail of defeated foes. But one encounter changed everything. Toji Zenin, an assassin immune to Gojo's power, challenged his perception of strength. This wasn't just an attack, it was a revelation. For the first time, Gojo saw that power alone wasn't enough, igniting a fire within him to push his abilities beyond what anyone had seen before. Gojo's journey to mastery was one fueled by an intense desire to be untouchable. He trained relentlessly, honing the precision of his limitless technique and his six eyes. For Gojo, every challenge became a stepping stone, a new way to evolve. Little did he know, these early struggles would lay the foundation for a legacy that would alter the course of Jujutsu history. Jujutsu High, Gojo found more than power. He found a friend and rival in Suguru Geto, another sorcerer with unmatched potential. Together, they discussed the responsibilities that came with their strength. But while Gojo believed in using his power to protect everyone, Geto felt sorcery should be reserved for sorcerers alone. Their mission to protect Riko Amanai was a turning point. For Gojo, protecting Riko wasn't just a duty, it was a testament to his belief in protecting others, regardless of who they were. But for Geto, this mission revealed his discomfort with risking their lives for non-sorcerers. This clash marked the beginning of a divide between them, one that would soon turn their friendship into rivalry. Imagine watching your best friend choose a path you can't follow. Gojo saw Geto slowly turning away from the ideals they once shared, and with it, the bond they had built. While Geto wanted to protect sorcerers at any cost, Gojo sought a broader vision, one that included everyone. Their debate wasn't just about power, it was about the future of their world. As Gojo watched Geto's transformation, he realized that standing up for his beliefs might mean standing alone. But for Gojo, true strength meant more than personal loyalty. It meant dedicating his life to a cause bigger than himself. He chose his path with conviction, knowing it would one day make him a target, not just for enemies, but for former friends. Over time, Gojo's delusionment with the Jujutsu world deepened. He saw a system mirrored in elitism and corruption, where powerful sorcerers controlled from the shadows. For Gojo, this wasn't just a broken system, it was an enemy within, one he could no longer ignore. When the elders ordered Yuji's execution, Gojo knew it was time to act. His decision to protect Yuji wasn't just defiance, it was a statement. Gojo believed in giving power to those who would use it for good, even if it meant risking his standing with the authorities. It was a choice that made him both a mentor and a target. Imagine standing up to an entire system that expects your obedience. Gojo's defiance was a message to his students that strength lies not just in ability, but in courage. For Gojo, real power meant standing up for what you believe, even if it meant tearing down the very world that trained you. By taking on the role of a mentor, Gojo wasn't just teaching his students to fight, he was teaching them to think, to challenge, to question. He was preparing them not just to be sorcerers, but to be leaders, showing them that their power could change the world if used with conviction. The Shibuya incident was the battle that would test Gojo like never before. Surrounded by powerful curses, Gojo fought with relentless precision, each move showcasing his mastery. But this wasn't just another fight, it was a trap meticulously designed by Kenjaku, a strategist who understood that Gojo's greatest weakness was his strength itself. In a stunning turn of events, Kenjaku's trap succeeded, sealing Gojo within the prison realm. With his fall, the Jujutsu world was left defenseless. This single moment changed everything, and the repercussions of Gojo's absence would be felt by allies and enemies alike. It was a reminder that even the strongest can fall when the system they defy is the one that ensnares them. Imagine the shock of losing a legend overnight. Gojo's sealing left a void that was impossible to fill, exposing the fragility of a society that relied too heavily on one man. Without Gojo, the Jujutsu world faced its darkest days, left vulnerable to threats they never imagined they'd face alone. But in the face of this crisis, Gojo's students found new strength. His absence forced them to grow, to become leaders in their own right. In a way, this moment was the ultimate test of his legacy, proof that Gojo had given them more than just skills. He had given them the courage to stand even in his absence. When Gojo returned, it wasn't just for redemption, it was for legacy. His battle with Sukuna, the King of Curses, was a battle for the ages, one that pushed Gojo to his absolute limit. But Gojo knew that this fight was more than just strength. It was a message to everyone watching, a reminder of what it meant to stand for something greater than yourself. As Gojo fought, each strike carried the weight of his ideals, his beliefs, his dreams for a world where sorcerers didn't just fight to survive, but thrived for something larger than power. His legacy wasn't about his power alone, it was about proving that even in defeat, his vision for the future could endure. In the afterlife, Gojo found peace among those he had fought beside. Here he reflected on his journey, the friendships, the sacrifices, the moments that shaped him. Gojo realized that true strength wasn't just about being the strongest, it was about inspiring others to reach beyond what they thought possible. Gojo's legacy lives on through his students, in the hopes he gave them and the courage he instilled. His story isn't just an end, it's a beginning for every sorcerer who dares to rise above. Gojo Satoru, the man who changed the Jujutsu world forever, and whose spirit remains a guiding force for the next generation. Satoru Gojo, a sorcerer, a mentor, a legend. His story reminds us that true strength isn't in dominance. It's in the courage to change the world, even if you stand alone. You might want to save this one because Gojo's story will resonate for generations.